Well, hello again, and welcome to this week's edition, Week 10 of the Red Raider football season, of the Red Raider Coaches Show. I want to thank Coach Williams for being here with me. And I said it the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just flying by. Here we are again, the last week of the regular season. As we were just talking before we got on camera that everything's still ahead of us. We still have a team that's very competitive. Things didn't turn out Friday night like we hoped, but there's still room, obviously, for improvement, and just a play here, a play there, and you just never know. So that's what, again, maybe I'm the eternal optimist. I don't know, but I see the talent level on this team, albeit as young as it is. We still have, again, an opportunity to do something special in the next couple weeks, but we'll get to that in just a moment. I do want to thank the Nazarene Church for feeding the team last Friday, giving them providing the game meal. That's very much appreciated. The time and effort and money that is donated for that. I know the coaches certainly appreciate it each and every week. I want to thank T-Boy Carter for putting all that together and organizing that from starting at the beginning of the season, and then sometimes he has to work out some things throughout the season. But I want to thank T-Boy for continuing to handle that for the Red Raider Booster Club, Touchdown Club, in that capacity. So, Coach, how you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
That's awesome. I mean, we hosted Fitzgerald the other night. We had a conversation last week about Fitzgerald, how new coach, new culture. They've had Pruitt was there for the young Pruitt. Tucker was there for quite some time, very successful over his tenure. New coach comes in and they struggle early on in the season, whether it's adapting to the culture, to the play calling really doesn't seem like it has changed very much. They're still sort of a smash mouth, wing tee, triple option type, whatever you want to call it, when they showed up Friday night. But you said they were kind of hitting their stride now, working things out, and sure enough, they showed up. They got off the bus and they looked like Fitzgerald. They're big kids, athletic, disciplined, and that's what we saw when we took the field. Now we were. I want to make note. Maury got his first start. We talked about that last week. We wasn't sure. It was sort of a game time decision for Scotland, whether or not he would start at quarterback like he's done all season. Had a slight injury the week before. We're just trying to be cautious on that and kept him out. And man, you know what you're going to get from Amari on both sides of the ball, because I'm not sure if he came off the field. Special teams, offense, defense. That kid's going to give it everything every night, and that's what we saw Friday night. And what I saw initially is our defense playing well, and then our offense, man, we were just off by just a few inches here and there. So talk about that just a little bit, man. And I know it's frustrating as a coach too.
Man, we had a great week of practice, adjusting the game plan to Amari's strengths. Scotland, great quarterback, and he can let it go. And Amari is kind of our run threat, but he can let it go too. But they did a great job. Like you said, we shot ourselves in the foot. We would be on great drives, and we'd get a penalty. Then something to happen. So my coaching staff did a great job. I know that ain't what the results that we wanted. We got a little momentum right there, kind of in the second half, and we just didn't finish. We didn't finish, and part of it is my fault. Part of it is my fault. I think that the offense is clicking. I think I kind of put too much pressure on the offensive coaching staff. But it's just the nature of the game, the nature of the beast. But I was very proud of Amari. I told him when it was yesterday when they were stretching how proud I was of him. He competed at a high level, didn't coach I want out, still played defense hard. But the offense, we adjusted to the game plan, and I think they did a great job. And we were moving the ball.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, we were moving the ball, and I was really, I wanted to kind of get it downfield a little bit more. But we did a great job, and I was proud of the coaching staff and the boys. They never gave up, and we just stuck to the game plan, and It's just kind of penalties kind of got to us. I'm trying to hold my cool, with these refs, just I try not to let them change my intensity for my boys, But
it's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
man. This is probably one of the most challenging things I have done in my life.
Just controlling your emotion as a coach, because you're, and it's a twofold thing. You're protecting you're trying to defend your team. You want to try to do everything in your power on the sideline, and that's what you've done. You prepared, and then and there are, and again, the refs are human. They're going to make certain mistakes, but man, it seems like they make them at the inopportune time for the Red Raiders.
At the worst time, they'll come to you, coach. I made a mistake. Oh yeah, but
I don't want to hear that now. Don't tell me that now.
Yeah, but I'm fine with every one of them. I talk to them when they come here. I talk to them. We actually feed them also, but. Some make mistakes, so I can't blame them.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, I will never be an umpire referee. And I think the worst is on the basketball court.
Oh yeah,
because you can hear everything there. And you have to make split second.
Yeah.
I mean split. But I think in football you got just a few seconds to maybe make a decision whether you want to do it or not. But you got to blow that whistle. In basketball, man, they'll eat you alive. So I don't think I will ever want to be an umpire.
I can't handle
I respect that. But again, all fun intent, just fun a little bit here. But yeah, they're going to make mistakes. But then we made some mistakes.
Yeah,
we didn't, just not being able to execute right. I mean, there was a big long pass. I wasn't sure if Maury could throw it that far.
Yeah.
Man, he hit, and then so when they were quite able to bring it in, that was a potential game tire.
Yeah.
Game tying catch right there. So and that's all part of the game. But it's just little things.
Yeah.
But that's what gives me hope is we didn't get whipped.
Yeah.
Certain at times I've said all along, you get whipped and you ain't nothing you can do about it. But there's things that we can improve on, and we're just a few inches away. And that's what I always say. Football's a game of inches, and that's why everything is still ahead of us. We're a better football team than whoever we play in the playoffs is going to think we are.
Yeah.
Number one is we've all been talking all season about the competition in our region, toughest region in the state, in our division, and maybe in multiple divisions in the state when it comes to the teams that are every week that we're having to face. But yeah, that's I thought Amari played a great game. I was super proud of that young man. And other guys stepped up on both sides of the ball. And one, you mentioned it earlier, and we talked about it all years. They don't quit. They really don't. You see some frustration once in a while, but again, you're 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. You're going to see that at times, and you want to see some emotion. You got to keep it when you're on the field. You got to kind of harness that and hold it back so that you don't get the penalties and such where you say or do something like that. But you can see some of that frustration, but they never quit.
Never.
They didn't quit. And that's going to help us in the long run, to get to where we want to be.
I can say this, this team has been through a lot. I take the head, laying down some suspensions and all that, and they just keep fighting. They keep going and show up on Monday, coach ready to go. We go out to practice. I know on Tuesday we start off pretty physical. With some little board drills, and yesterday I'm talking about they got after it. So it's kind of like, coach, we know we made a mistake, we're gonna move on, like our next play mentality. So I'm very proud of this team of how far we've came, but we got a lot of work we got to do, and we gon' we keep working and we keep our head on straight, we gonna surprise some folks in the playoffs.
I think so too. I really believe that. And turn that corner and get to where we want to be. Well, we'll turn the page on Fitzgerald, and we got another big week this week with Brantley County. We're heading over to Nahunta. It's been a couple years since we've been over there. I look at it. Is this a trap game? Brantley has struggled this year, and I'm not throwing them under the bus. It is what it is. It's a team that's 0-9. They're 0-5 in region play. I think I looked it up. They've only scored about 25 total points all season, so they've really struggled on offense. They're averaging, giving up about 36, 37 points a game. It's just been a real struggle for their team for different reasons, and I don't know exactly what they are. And we're going in, fighting for a playoff spot, a decent playoff spot. Really needing a victory this Friday night. So, Coach, what have you been telling your team as we progress to Friday to prepare them mentally for what's at stake?
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody know about last year and just what happened. So mentally, I've been reminding our guys before practice. It might be a 15-minute lecture. Then I get them right after practice again, just kind of reminding them of what we got to do, what's at stake. Coach does a great job over there at Brantley. I actually know one of the guys on staff. Me and him went to cook together. So just kind of reminding my guys every day what's at stake, what we got to play for, what we cannot do.
Right.
Can't lose our head. Can't let nobody get in our head. Can't let nobody influence us to do nothing to get 15-yard penalty or get thrown out the game. So that's what we're concentrating on. 15 minutes before practice, 15 minutes after practice, and even I even throw a little skit during practice. Just trying to prepare them for Friday night. I think me personally, just looking at the season, especially the near game, kind of how we reacted to some things when it got a little
chippy.
Yeah, when it got a little chippy. How we reacted, we walked away, hands up, walked away. So I think we're prepared for it. I think we're prepared for this night. I think that we understand how important it is, and not to make the same mistake that we did last year. So that's been my motto for this week. Just reminding them how important it is, what the goal is, what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to get over that hump, and if we can do our best this Friday and come away with the dub, I think we can make some noise in the playoffs. But we all got to believe, not just the coaches, not just some people in the community, but everybody got to believe, and everybody got to be on board.
Well, that's good. I'm assuming Scotland's ready to go Friday night?
Scotland is getting some reps, kind of game time decision right now.
Okay.
Just kind of being precautious about it.
Sure.
He did get some reps. Amari got most of the reps yesterday. But just being precautious. Don't know. Gonna be a game time decision. Me and Miss Jamie gonna make that decision. But
Jamie's our trainer. She does a great job.
Yeah,
for
great
Macon
job.
County School District. Yeah.
But he's been looking better.
Okay. Well, good. Now, what can we expect? From this Brantley County offensively and defensively coming into this game?
Offensively, they like to run the ball. Kind of got some weapons outside. Quarterback is pretty tall and good. Kind of more spread type. Use a lot of tight ends.
Okay.
But they're good offense. I think they just facing some tough competition.
Yeah.
And I know what they're going through. So defensively, they get to the ball. They're big. They get to the ball. They play hard. But those guys are well prepared. They kind of like to disguise a lot on defense. But our guys have been trained Monday and Tuesday about it, and we know how to read it. So hopefully we can go out there and execute, but keep our minds. If we keep our mind, that's kind of one of our values, mentally tough, and that's what we've been preparing for.
Okay. Well, and us, I feel like our defense has probably been the most consistent part of our team all season long. Health-wise, outside of Scotland, we're in pretty good shape overall.
Yeah, we're good. I think Mason and Theron had some knee problems against Worth, but they played against Fisher fine. But other than that, they're good. Everybody's good.
Well, that's good. And, so I anticipate our defense to play well and to try to pitch a shutout. And again, this team, it's kind of like other teams. It's like, Georgia Bulldogs over the past few years. Everybody plays their best game against them. And the seniors on this Brantley County team, they got something left to play for, some pride. So they're gonna throw the kitchen sink at us. I promise you. And
they're gonna give us their best shot.
So we're gonna have to play well to not put ourselves in a poor spot. But again, I anticipate our defense to keep us in this game and to push through. And then obviously offensively, it starts with running the ball. I'm assuming again. And we saw Cawthorn get a few more carries this past week, as well as we saw. I tell you what, I really like seeing Theron come in that short yardage situations. You know, and of course you got Johnson back there blocking for him. You could hand it to him. I remember in middle school, and he's almost as big as he was in middle school.
Yeah.
There was direct snapping to him, and he was running it right up the middle, you know, for 6, 8, 10 yards. Yeah. So just it's a good option, heavy option there for you on the goal line, or when you need a fourth down or a short third down. It's fun to see to do that. But yeah, how is our, you know, we got a freshman running back. Is it? I'm gonna mess his name up. Is it Adam?
Yeah,
Roderick Adams.
Roderick Adams.
Yeah.
He actually got two of them, Roderick Adams and Amir Smith.
Amir Smith, okay.
Yeah. They have been great at practice this week. Just kind of, you know, trying to get the nerves out of them. You know, I remember against Terrifier, it was kind of the same thing, and they're just nervous. It's just expected from freshmen, but I expect them to play great this week. Along with the other running backs.
Right. So Demetrius Iverson's getting some carries.
Yep.
I teach him in class. He's a character.
Yeah, that joker there.
He's a character, but I tell you what, man, he's put together. You know, he's not super tall, but he's a guy that probably end up squatting 400-something pounds before he graduates. I mean, he's so get him a little confidence. So and he's a young guy too. You know, we got a lot of young players on this team that's coming back for the next couple years. So again, it starts with running the ball, and then, you know, obviously if Maury gets some of the snap, majority, all this running threat, and again, I was very pleased to see he threw the ball down the field a couple times. It was I was very pleased to see that. So that's a threat that maybe some of these other teams didn't maybe realize. So, but yeah, you know, Brantley County, it's about a 45 minute drive over there. We want you to come and show up and show out for this Red Raider football team. This is the last game of the regular season, an important game for the Red Raiders when it comes to the power rankings, to not only get the victory, but maybe have a decisive victory, hopefully, as we push our way into the playoffs. We're going to be in that middle group, low 20s, probably in that ranking. It's kind of where we're at now. I don't really, by getting this victory, I don't see us going any higher than really where we're at. It could be a little lower in the lower 20s, possibly high teens, just depending on how everything swing out. But most likely, we're pretty sure we're going to be on the road. But Coach, just your best. This is ballpark here. I've got a few teams that I've investigated. He just mentioned one, and I'm going to let him say it. That I didn't see this in I didn't see the potential matchup in the list the rankings that I was looking at. And of course we have to subtract the private schools out of it and move and shift the public schools up and all this other stuff. But me looking at it, I saw potentially Swainsboro, potentially Dublin in that area, maybe Elbert County as a possibility. I'm not sure about Northeast anymore out of Macon. I'm not sure about that one. But those were the 3 or 4 teams, possibly, depending on where we finished, possibly Toombs, because you don't know where exactly they're going to land in the power rankings either. But those are the teams that I had. But you threw one out a while ago that I was like, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of the ballpark, and this Friday going to play a big part when Jeff Davis and Fitzgerald go at it. But with Jeff Davis, Social Circle, Fitzgerald, it's just Harrison County. It's just a lot that can happen this Friday that can make an impact on this. So we just want to see where we fall at, and let's strap it up and get ready to go.
I got you. But what you're saying is, if Jeff Davis loses Friday, there's a chance that we could match up with them in the first round. That's what he meant to say. And who wouldn't want another shot at Jeff Davis, right? A border war, wouldn't have to go that far.
Yeah.
And man, you talking about a playoff atmosphere? We would bring a crowd. It would be awesome. So, but yeah, anywhere we go, we're excited. Mm-hmm. We want the opportunity to compete in the first round of the state playoffs, and irregardless of who it is, Jeff Davis is going to know what's coming. Yeah. The potential of what's coming, but someone outside of our region is not. They're not going to understand exactly what we've been through and what we're actually capable of, the potential I believe coaching staff believes that we have. We just want an opportunity to show that on the field, no matter where it's at. So it starts Friday night. We got to take care of business. We don't let this be a trap game. We want to go over there and play physical, play fast, play discipline. And if that happens, I think good things will happen. So again, we want all of Raider Nation to drive over. But yeah, we want you there in the stands. We should be there broadcasting. For some strange reason, we're not. We're only able to record or whatnot. Brantley is on the NFHS network as well, so you would be able to watch it live there. I haven't heard just yet if we're going to be able to go and broadcast live, but we should be able to. But if not, it will be online if you can't make it for whatever reason. But we want you in the stands, loud and proud, pulling for our Red Raiders on Friday night to get us, again, to potentially get us where we want to go. So, Coach, I appreciate you joining me on this week's edition of the Coaches Show. On behalf of myself, Brent Johnson, and head coach Thad Williams.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, go Raiders.
Go Raiders.